And good evening to the heralds of the known world. I am Ulrich Eisenhand. You can't see me because my camera decided not to work tonight. But welcome to the November 2018 decision meeting for the Merdiers ILOI. We're going to go down the line as I can see from left to right, and have everybody please introduce themselves. Starting with Master Alexander.
I'm Alexander Ravenscroft, Dental Herald Extraordinary, and I am mostly a court herald, so I just come in here to mess things up.
All right. Next up is our boss, who is just joining us, Mr. Wu.
Woo!
Hi, everybody.
Hi, Mr. Wu.
She's Beacon. She's our principal herald and our boss.
God help all of you.
All right. Next, see here. Is it Christian still, or has it gone to Catelyn?
It's gone to Catelyn.
Okay.
I am Catelyn Wynn, and I am the herald for the Shire of Fort Castle.
Yeah.
All right. Next would be Kurt.
I am Kurt Bogner. I'm Cypher and the Internal Expeditions Deputy.
Oh God, just shut the door if you're going to do that.
Right. Atla, if you want to just.
I unmuted myself. I heard you.
Okay.
I am Catelyn Thristian's daughter. I am a herald at large in the Kingdom of Meridies.
All right, Lucian.
Hello, Honorable Lord Lucien d'Artois. I'm the Lambent Herald for Meridies and the Red Raven Pursuivant for the Barony of South Downs.
Overachiever extraordinary.
Master Herveus.
I'm Herveus Darmond, Merciless Herald, Gnome Herald, Troublemaker at Large.
Mistress Bronwyn.
Hi, I'm Mistress Bronwyn O'Goodwelly. I am White Antelope Herald, and I just come in to comment and create mayhem.
And how long have you been commenting?
Years.
She's been commenting since 7:45.
Hey, I know she's been commenting at least for the past 2 years that I've been a part of it, so.
She was commenting back when we were doing it on paper. When Honest was sending things around based on the Inferno.
My lawyers will be in touch with your lawyers, Alligator.
Wait a minute, my laurel's a double. My lawyer's a double peer. You might want to be careful about that.
You got a point.
And last but not least, Finna.
Hi, I'm Finna Moss' daughter. I am the baronial herald for the Barony of Bladenfeld, located in Nashville, Tennessee.
Which makes you Golden Iris.
No.
No,
Yes,
it does
yes,
not
yes.
make her golden.
They've changed that.
Yeah, we're changing that.
That's so sad.
It's she is the herald to be named at a future undetermined point.
Harold's not appearing in this film. All right. So let's go ahead and get started on the letter. It's a short letter. We only have 5 submissions, 6 items, 5 submitters. Go ahead and dive in at number 1. And I apologize if I butcher this Egyptian name. I think I got it. Anket Satne Herinpu Mutis Neferet. New name.
That's close enough.
That's close.
It will have to be.
It's the father name that I'm not entirely sure of, but I think we're good.
Everything that I looked at as far as the formation and everything in the source material looked like they had it right.
Okay.
But
And I put a correction in at the request of the submitter to correct the spelling of mucus, put that second E in
Okay.
to match the spelling in the documentation.
Okay.
So other than changing that spelling and adding the documentation as detailed by Frida, do we have any other gripes, any other conflicts?
Throw it up.
It all looks Greek to me.
When I was entering the
That would be
That's
post
unfortunate, Lucian, because it's Egyptian.
Yeah.
Same difference. After a certain time period, anyway.
Yes.
Yeah, well.
When I was entering this one in, I added the capitalized K in the middle of it because that's how it was written on the paper, but I didn't see that specifically in the.
Yeah, I think we'll change that to a lowercase k as detailed in the documentation.
Yeah.
I'll just contact the submitter and let them know that I'm doing that, just in case there was a reason for it.
Make sure you mention that you made the change in case it can be put back.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. Not a bad idea.
It's failing to mention that you changed it is a really bad idea and makes Pelican cranky.
Yes. I was in that Submission Herald meeting at Known World 2.
Well, I wasn't, but I participate in the Pelican meetings, and so I get to see the kvetching,
And the
real time.
crankiness.
Yes, that was one of the specific gripes that came up in the Submission Herald meeting.
Yep.
At Known World.
Really
All right, so we will be sending that name up. Moving on to number 2. Hessa Hilda Schoenberg. New name change. Old item, theory, Agvidar daughter to be retained as alternate name. Request authenticity for 15th, 16th century German/Swabian. I have to agree with Michael Gerard. OE is shorthand for O with an umlaut whenever you don't have access to an umlaut. So it needs to be one or the other.
Okay, so it should be O umlaut.
It should either be O with an umlaut or OE.
But not O umlaut E, because that's
Right.
That's
It's redundant.
OE. That's
It would be OEEN.
maybe she just really wants to draw out that E sound. But add a couple more in there.
So I will contact the submitter and ask which she prefers, whether she prefers the OE or the O with an umlaut. But other than that, I don't think we found any issues, did we?
Don't think so.
No. And as long as she didn't mark no changes, then even if it gets sent up like this, they'll fix it.
Right.
But if we can fix it before it gets sent up, that's obviously better.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, it looks like OE. Looking what Julia said, looks like the OE was sort of a normalized form, and the O umlaut was what's actually in the source document.
And she is looking for authenticity.
We're contacting her now.
Yeah, I believe that O with an umlaut would be the authentic spelling.
It just looks more German when it's got the umlauts.
I mean, if that image is a period document, then O umlaut is obviously authentic for what's there because it's what's there.
Right.
Correct.
So
Yeah, I will present that to the submitter and change it if she decides on something.
Right.
Okay, and I found no conflicts with it.
So we will send that up. Moving on to number 3, Nikolai Dragomir, resub device. Per Saltier, Ghouls and Sable, a dragon within a Bordur embattled Argent. Bronwyn, you think that there is a conflict?
I believe there is.
Yeah, Per Saltier, Ghouls and Sable, a dragon rampant, and in chief, a rear mouse Argent. 1 DC for a change of type of secondary.
Yes.
Changing the rear mouse to a Bordur.
Yes.
Yep.
Which is unfortunate since this is already a resubmission for a conflict, but I believe it to be a conflict.
And it's in chief, not on a chief. I didn't.
It is in chief, yes.
In chief.
Okay, yeah. So that.
So yeah, it is
that would
definitely a secondary charge and not a co-primary.
All right.
Yeah. So it definitely would be probably a conflict because it's only a DC, not a SC.
Right.
Yep. So, I might go ahead and try and get in touch, see if this person is still playing, and see if they'd be willing to do a letter of permission to conflict, because they are fairly different devices.
Yeah, they are.
So
well, the conflict, the conflicting device was registered in 1991, so there's no way of knowing. I mean, we're talking about 17 years ago. But
or even 27.
Oh, I'm sorry, 27 years ago. The years just get away from me. It happens when you get old.
yeah, that device can drink.
Yeah, really.
All right, so I will try and track down the potential conflict and see if they'd be willing to do a letter of permission to conflict. And if I can't find them, or if they're unwilling, then I will be forced to return this.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately.
It's unfortunate.
All right, so moving along to item number 4. Sheriff Owlsnest, new badge. Just reading it in. Fieldless, an owl displayed a fronty or within and conjoined to an annulet dovetailed argent. Kurt, I believe you said that they are withdrawing this badge submission. Is that correct?
That is correct, yes.
All right.
They could have a cogwheel, but an annulet dovetailed is just not.
It looks like the badge from Pokemon.
Oh.
I didn't have it muted. They heard.
Oh, sorry, guys.
Actually, no. If it looks enough like a badge from Pokemon, that would be a concern.
But just looking at it from here, and I'm sorry I play Pokemon Go, it looks like the yellow badge from Pokemon.
Well, that's something we needed to know.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I've never played Pokemon Go, so I'm totally ignorant on that. And
you're
cannot
talking
speak
about
to it.
instant.
Look, this argument is superfluous because one of the first things that we looked at when I was Ragged Staff was a shield that was absolutely the Master Shield from Zelda, and it passed. So, no, it absolutely is. It was out of the West Kingdom. Even if it looks like something obscure from Pokemon, just let it go, because most commenters are not going to know what that is.
Well, that wasn't what we were going for.
Sorry, I'm just a voice, Harold. My bad. I thought we were muted.
No worries, no worries.
Take that just out of that. I'm getting tired of this. I'm just a whatever Harold. You're a Herald.
He's a herald, and look, you're getting 2 for 1 in this window.
I love it.
I'm just a herald.
I'm just a herald.
That's okay. We're seducing him to the dark side.
Fantastic.
All right, so
It's actually working out very well for me because he's visibly a herald. So when people ask him to do their name or device, he looks at them blankly and points at me.
Nothing like a referral service.
Right?
All right, Ulrich, where we at?
So moving right along to the last item on our list. I know we're 18 minutes in. The last item on our list.
Oh my.
We rock.
I fully expect next letter to be about twice as long. Quite possibly.
I have at least
Still only 10
three.
items.
I'm working on one.
So
It
item
never
number
fails to be a short
5.
letter than a long letter.
Item number 5, Rasha Spillane. New name and new device. Let's start with the name.
This is one of my folks, and Spillane is her mundane maiden name, not her married name. But I think we had Spillane documented anyway.
According to according to Pantheon, documented period form is Ospillane.
Right, and I think she would go with that. We would just need to ask her.
Okay. So basically, what we're going to have to ask her is if she's okay with changing it to that, or if she can provide documentation that is actually her mundane maiden name.
Okay, the only problem with this is that she has left the state for until after the first of the year and has decided to go quiet on Facebook. So I do not know how to contact her unless I maybe be able to get through to her husband by phone.
Okay.
And does the mundane name allowance apply to maiden names if it's not actually her name anymore?
It should, because
Yeah.
they provide her birth certificate for that.
Right now, her Facebook profile is for Summer Spillane. She still uses her maiden name on her Facebook account. If that makes any difference. But that can't count as documentation, no.
It has to be some form of identification.
So we either,
I would say for the mundane name allowance, we would have to probably have a copy of her birth certificate to be able to pass that.
Yeah.
It would also
And
be
there
on
is-
a marriage license if that's easier to pertain.
The only thing I can do is try to phone him and see if he has any documentation of hers, or he can get a hold of her to get it to us ASAP.
I mean, if I needed to, I could pend it until the first of the year.
Yeah, but
I feel kind of icky about doing that because I don't like holding stuff up like that.
No, I will try to get a hold of them because I do not have a cell phone number for her. The only way I've ever been able to get a hold of her is either at their home phone number or on Facebook. And since she is decided to get off of Facebook while she's out of town and is not going to be local, I can, as I said, I can try to contact her husband and get the information, get him to get her to send the information.
Okay.
And I will try to do that tonight and see if I can get through and find out something. But I know that originally I told her Ospillane was one of the forms, and I told her she could, if she could prove the Spillane as her mundane name allowance, she could use it, but she never sent me any proof of that. She just sent the submission off herself.
Okay.
So
I would appreciate it if you would attempt that.
I will.
And if you are able to get in touch with them, if you just forward that correspondence on to me, that would be great.
Okay, I will do that, and I will see if I can't get a hold of them tonight after the meeting.
All right. So let's go ahead and move on to the device. Azure, an ounce and a coney salient respectant, and in chief, 3 roses argent. I like the look of it.
It's slightly confusing because we have two similar but different critters. So you're going, what? Wait. Oh no, they're not the same. But
well, the coney has long ears and the ounce has a long tail. So if you do more than a cursory glance, you can tell they are different.
But you got to stop and go, oh wait, yeah, there's a this thing and a that thing, and it's totally irrelevant to whether it's registerable.
Correct.
It's just an unfortunate design choice.
Well,
They look like they're slap fighting.
Stop it. Don't you stop it.
As well, they may be. I'm sure that she had a reason for wanting those two particular critters.
Yeah.
She did not tell me what that was, though. But the roses in chief have an obvious correlation to her name.
Yep. There's no reason not to send it up.
No.
Yeah, I'm not finding anything that is a conflict personally. So, all right. So as long as we are able to clear up the name.
Okay, so can I ask a quick question?
Sure.
Okay, the Ospelane period forms. Let's see. That's the O with the O accented SPEALAIN, or are we talking about one of the period forms of Ospelane, or all four? Which ones would we suggest that she use?
See here.
The closest to what she asked for would be the center of the period anglicized forms, or whether anglicized or not, the Ospelane,
Yeah.
SPILLANE.
Yeah, that would be the closest to what she submitted, so that would probably be what I would suggest.
Okay. Well, now if she gives me verbal permission to change it to that, and I transmit that, will that be acceptable?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I know that originally we had picked Ospelane, and she said she wanted to try for just Spillane, so she knows that it's a possibility.
And if she wants to do it as submitted, or she has to wait until she gets back to the States before she can provide that information.
Well, she's in the States, but she's out someplace like Colorado or somewhere.
Well, but if we have to wait on that, I can pend it until she gets back in town and can provide that.
Okay.
Because I don't want to return it for something as trivial as not being in town to show that this is using a one-day name allowance.
Okay, so I will tell her that she can either go with Ospelane, or if she wants it without the O, that I need to get her to send you proof that that's her maiden name,
right?
Her legal maiden name.
So a copy of her birth certificate, a copy of her marriage license, whatever. Any official document that has her maiden name on it.
Okay.
High school diploma, maybe? I don't know whether that counts or not.
Well, like I said, I know she goes by Summer Spillane Jordan, and so that's what she signs everything. So.
Yeah, but we live in a world of people not using their legal names.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if she retained it as her middle name after she got married, then she could just provide us with a copy of her driver's license.
Oh no, I agree. I'm just saying a lot of us don't use.
Right.
Well, and I do not know whether she does or not. I just know that that's what she tends to go by. So if it's not her legal name, then it's not her legal name. But I will find out.
All right.
we'll take care of this one way or another, and hopefully in the next couple of days.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I think that wraps that up, and that brings us to the end of our decision meeting at 27 minutes.
Yay! Is that some kind of a record?
I don't know.
Might be.
I think we had a 14-minute one once when we had one item on the letter. I think that was one of Carlos's meetings when I was still Cypher. But yeah, I remember it was either a November or December meeting when we had one item on the letter.
I seem to remember that.
Ulrich's first meeting as Pennon didn't have any items.
I know, right?
That was technically the shortest one at 0 minutes and 0 seconds.
It was so short, there's no record of it. All right, so thank you, everybody, for coming out tonight. Our next... Okay, so here's the question. Our next meeting would fall on Christmas.
Oh,
Ooh, ouch.
I love you.
Meeting on Christmas.
No.
no.
Well, we could all dress as elves, but I don't think.
Beacon says no.
Pennon says no. So
we can do first because that's New Year's.
How about that Thursday? Everybody good for Thursday?
I was going to suggest Thursday, December 27th.
I
That
mean,
works. That can work.
on that.
That could work.
All right, so we will tentatively schedule it for Thursday, December 27th for the decision meeting for the December letter.
Mm-hmm.
We will hash out a little closer to time if that's going to be an issue. We can move it a little forward or a little back if we need to.
Yeah.
But
Thursday, December 27th.
Thursday, December 27th for our next.
Yeah.
Sounds good to
Just
me.
as a relevant note, because Callantyr had their meeting last night, and their December meeting is going to be on Sunday evening before Christmas. Because Christmas Eve is a bad time to have a meeting too. Just so they've already put their meeting on Sunday the 23rd.
23rd.
So
yeah, and I'd like to not stack ours on top of theirs.
No.
Yeah.
I know there are people who like to go to both.
You could do a joint meeting.
I would be one of those people.
That would be entertaining.
That would definitely be entertaining.
I don't know how big the Callantyr letter is going to be, and where I'm in Eastern time and I have to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning, get ready for work. I really don't want to go that late in Central time.
Well, they could sing and we could take biscuits.
They start same time you do.
Yeah, but we can't run them at the same time if we're running it jointly.
Well, yeah, there's
That would be
that.
sequential.
But anyway,
We could alternate.
How many items we got for next month?
As of right now, about 15 or so.
Yeah, it's gonna be a big one.
It's bigger. It is bigger than this one.
I knew I had several on there this time. That's why this one was so small. I had none.
well, we had a few submissions come in from Castle Wars, didn't we, Kurt?
Yes, we did. We had 5.
5.
Okay.
Excellent. All right, so
I've got something like 18 pending here locally or more. And if they all go in at the same time, it's going to be interesting when that letter comes around. But
As
They're
long
drag-
as it
they're
doesn't
dragging
end
their
up being a
feet.
Golf Wars letter like this year's was.
Yeah. Yes. Please avoid April and May.
Right, yes.
Like I say, if you can give us a heads up, you know.
Possibly June. It's going to
Yeah.
depend on how many we get at Artsy Crown.
Well, this is William Scrivener, a bunch of William Scrivener's kids.
And that's lovely. Just like give us a heads up so that we
Yes.
know we're going to be here for a couple hours. That would be great.
And then
We'll
we've got
do it.
another family with a husband and 3 kids. So that's 8 items for him. And I think there's something like, oh my God, there's actually more than 50,
Well,
18.
am I remembering correctly that William Scrivener is the one with like 12 kids?
William has 12 kids, but several of his already have registered names and devices.
Okay.
Two of those are changing their devices, however. And then about 5 more of them are registering names and devices.
Doesn't he have 13 kids now?
Nope, just 12.
No, just the 12.
So
All right.
far.
It's 12 days of Christmas.
Yes.
Skip his own Barony.
Absolutely.
Lantern is going to check with Nikolai
Okay.
about whatever that issue is.
Okay.
All right. Well then, that brings us to the end of the letter. So thank you everybody for coming out tonight. Again, the tentative date for next month's meeting is going to be Thursday, December 27th. So good night, everybody, and hopefully we'll see you next month.
Bye.
All right.
Bye.
Good night.